Now, the next one is quite different from this genocide. Okay, consider this case first. Your war heroes made significant sacrifices, and their contributions made their side tough ground to be tackled, but they were depicted primarily as a proxy rather than as active participants. So what do you think about the portrayal of such a demeaned impact? This is called narrative war. Not exactly, but also not exceptionally. The South Vietnamese aspect of the Vietnam War depicts these. Normally, in American schools, so-called American schools, the Vietnam War has two relevant players, the Americans, of course, and the North Vietnamese communists. The South Vietnamese are depicted as just puppets of the Americans, and having no real agency. When in combat, the Americans are the main focus. Americana history is being portrayed, but the South Vietnamese are far underrated. For comparison, American casualties were nearly 47,000 plus killed in action, and about 300,000 wounded in action, half of which did not require hospitalization. The South Vietnamese army suffered a lot too, of which 200,000 were killed in action and 1 million plus were wounded in action. While casualties are not the entire story of contribution to the war, the South Vietnamese have contributed more than is portrayed. The South Vietnamese soldiers, alongside their American allies, displayed immense bravery and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. They fought not only against a formidable enemy, but also navigated a landscape fraught with political instability and internal strife. Their commitment to defending their nation and way of life was integral to the conflict, showcasing a level of agency and determination that deserves recognition so far. Comprehensive narrative of the Vietnam War. The fall of Saigon is just a completely ignored event, and once the Americans leave Vietnam, the end of the war, and the Americans are ridiculously heroic here too. It shows why Bharat should be on its way to become soft power, and not only on its way, but also with a clear stand for rejuvenating its culture that is Bharatiya Sanskriti, which will in turn strengthen Bharat's narrative. All right. The way we are taught at a young age to think of history as a bunch of separated events. How many people were taught that Christopher Columbus was a really nice guy who revolutionized the world and discovered a continent in 1492? Obviously more than a quarter of 100 knows this, but how many people tries to delve into this? Los desaparecidos, the disappeared. In September 1973, Chile's then president, Salvador Allende, was overthrown in a coup assisted by the US government, and General Augusto Pinochet took control. Pinochet was a violent leader who wanted to instill fear in anyone who opposed him, journalists, politicians, celebrities, and any others who publicly opposed him were known to suddenly disappear. Some were later found dead in alleyways or ditches throughout Santiago, the capital, while others were never found. Pinochet frequently used the National Stadium as a secret detention center, where he rounded up those who opposed him and tortured or killed them. Around 40,000 people were tortured during his 17-year regime, and at least 3,000 were killed or disappeared. So, as we reflect on these overlooked historical events, it's clear that every story shapes our understanding of the past. By acknowledging these lesser-known moments, we not only honor those who lived through them, but also enrich our perspective on the complexities of history. So which overlooked events surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments and watch our latest video on Mpox versus COVID-19. Thank you.